This week we have a full 5-on-5 of sorts, but in a different way. We have 10 trivia questions for you this morning. Let's exercise those sports brains. But before we unveil our latest trivia game, let's get you caught up to speed on some of the trending sports stories going on around the world of sports. We've seen 6 no-hitters through roughly a quarter of the baseball season, the latest courtesy of Yankee Corey Kluber. His no-no and near perfecto is the Bombers' first since David Cohn in 1999.
Really, I just think it was a lot of fun. I think it was a special night. I've never been part of one, witness one, let alone throw one. So, I think I guess more than anything, just a lot of fun to be a part of.
Speaking of first time, long time, how about the New York Knicks in a playoff series? The Orange and Blue opened their first round with Atlanta on Sunday. And aside from the Trae Young heartbreaker, it was a special day for 15,000 fans.
It was a hard-fought game. There's a play, a loose ball that gets batted around that, Bogdanovich comes up with it and makes a three, and that's probably the difference in the game right there. So there's a lot that goes into it, and we got to make things go our way. But having fans I think is great, and we got to play better.
Meantime, the Brooklyn Nets got off on the right foot as their big three scored a combined 82 points in their series opener against Boston. We go back inside the locker room for more.
Our defense got us going there on the offensive side of the ball. We couldn't make shots. I felt like when we were trying to bust the game open, 7-8 points, we got open threes we didn't make. We got our scores in position we didn't make. I know I missed a lot of bunnies that felt good leaving my hand. So, but we stuck with our defense.
Let me change into something more appropriate for our game show. The trivia topic this week, Mets baseball. How well do you know your New York Mets baseball history? Well, we're about to find out. Question number 1. Who did the Mets draft with the number 1 overall pick in the 1966 Major League Baseball draft? Here are your options. The answer? A. In 1966, the Mets famously bypassed future Hall of Famer and Yankee legend Reggie Jackson in the amateur draft, instead selecting A. Steve Chilcott, who would never play in the major leagues. Ouch. Question 2. Which player separated his shoulder in the 1973 National League Championship Series? Here are your options. A, B, or C. The late, great La Grande Orange, a friend of ours here at BxRx before he passed away. The answer is C, Rusty Staub. He will be remembered by fans for his heart and his clutch hitting. Never was that more evident than in the 1973 NLCS against the Cincinnati Reds, when he hit 3 home runs and separated his shoulder, crashing into the wall to rob an extra base hit. He played the entire World Series that year with that separated right shoulder and still hit a home run and batted .423 against the Oakland A's in the series. Rest in peace, Rusty Staub. Number 3 here on Mets Trivia. Which Mets player appeared in an episode of Seinfeld? Doc Gooden, Keith Hernandez, or Tug McGraw? Answer here, Keith Hernandez guest starred as himself in The Boyfriend. The 2-part episode has Keith romancing Elaine and embroils the Seinfeld gang in a JFK-esque conspiracy theory. By the way, the former Mets first baseman turned announcer estimates he gets $3,000 a year in royalties from the reruns. Pretty nice. Question 4 here on Mets Trivia. Which pitcher was acquired as the player to be named later in a 1979 trade that sent the Mets great Jerry Koosman to the Minnesota Twins? Answer here is A, Jesse Orosco. Orozco was a throw-in on the deal, but his clutch relief pitching in the 1986 postseason was one of the key reasons the Mets won the Fall Classic against Boston. He was on the mound for the final pitch of the final game of both the NLCS against the Houston Astros and the World Series that year against the Boston Red Sox. Number 5. Which pitcher started Game 1 of the 2000 Subway Series for the Mets? How about a former Yankee turned Mets ace only to become a Yankee later again in his career? Game 1 was a matchup between postseason veterans Al Leiter and Andy Pettitte. Both pitched scoreless baseball until the 6th inning when David Justice's 2-run double put the Yankees on top. So the correct answer there for number 5 here on Mets Trivia is B, Al Leiter. Number 6. Which Mets player broke the MLB rookie home run record? Pete Alonso, Darryl Strawberry, or Jeff McNeil? No doubt that you should have gotten this one. It's from recent memory. Pete Alonso made his Major League Baseball debut during the 2019 season and became the first Mets player to hit 50 or more home runs in a season. In doing so, he set the Mets' single-season home run record, 53, and also set the Major League record for most home runs by a rookie, breaking Yankee slugger Aaron Judge's previous record of 52 home runs. Pretty special season for both of those guys. Number 7 here on Mets Trivia on Bronx Nets Open. Which country music star tried out for the New York Mets? A is the correct one here. The Mets invited Garth Brooks to spring training in 2000. After going 0 for 17 at the plate, the team elected not to add him to their roster. Figures. Question 8. Which player coined the 1973 New York Mets catchphrase, "You gotta believe"? Rusty Staub, Wayne Garrett, or Tug McGraw? In 1973, the Mets season seemed lost, but from August 31st to the end of the season, they went 20-8. During his last 19 games, screwball-throwing left-hander Tug McGraw not only had 12 saves, 5 wins, and an ERA of .88, but coined the now famous rallying cry, "You gotta believe." See the correct answer to this one. So, how are we doing so far? 2 questions left here on Mets Trivia. Number 9. Which first baseman won Gold Glove awards in 11 consecutive seasons? Keith Hernandez is widely considered one of the greatest fielding first basemen in Major League history. He made brilliant plays to both his right and his left. Hernandez even defended bunts so aggressively that he discouraged opponents on reputation alone. Baseball great Pete Rose, another friend to BronxNet, compared bunting against Hernandez when he was managing to driving the lane against Bill Russell. Yeah, that's right, NBA Boston Celtics great Bill Russell. Pretty impressive comparison there. And in at number 10 on Mets Trivia, who did the Mets hire as a running coach in 1965? Joe DiMaggio, Maury Wills, or Jesse Owens? C for number 10, pretty cool factoid here. In 1965, the Mets hired Olympic track and field sensation Jesse Owens as a spring training running instructor to improve the players' base running techniques and foot speed. So, how did you fare? Bench player, all-star, Hall of Famer? Hit me up at the voice Bobby C and let me know how you did. Shoot me some ideas for our next trivia game too. Until then, thanks for playing and keep swinging. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C.